Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. Happy New Year! We are officially entering 2022. So before we dive into the energies for 2022, for the collective and for each life path number, this is just a reminder that this is a great time for you to order your own personal year ahead numerology forecast. I will leave the link in the description box below if that's something that you're interested in, but it's a great resource to see what the upcoming energies may hold for you. So as we wave goodbye to the universal 5 energy that had us shifting gears and changing directions so much that our worlds were often spinning all over the place, we now step into the more nurturing, domestic, and community-centered energy of the 6. 2022 is a 6 universal energy. So this cycle, this energy, is going to ask us to take into consideration the greater community and the good of all as we make our decisions and choose our actions. This is not an energy solely focused on self. The energy of 2020 sort of broke the foundations and forced us to be more isolated and reflective. The energies of 2021 were more about exploration and authenticity while building our personal worlds in a way that sort of is much more open-minded and adaptable to change. Now, 2022 is asking us to broaden our scope as we rebuild the world we want to experience while taking the collective into consideration. So what does this new world, that we're emerging into need that benefits more than just ourselves, but rather is inclusive of the needs of Mother Earth and all of her inhabitants? This is a cycle where divisiveness will no longer work. People are tired of the separation, and the energy is incredibly supportive for people to wake up and fully choose to build the bridges necessary to begin reuniting with friends, family, community, and the greater world at large. Regardless of how many people there are that still choose to cling to the old ways and who attempt to keep burning down those bridges, more and more people are going to sort of feel the need or the compulsion or the urge to move into a higher octave now and release the burdens of separation and chaos. There will always be polarities. We live in a world and a universe of polarities. However, for evolution to occur, we cannot remain in one extreme very long. The pendulum will always swing. And so on a more personal level, collectively, we will be seeing the influences of the 6 with an emphasis on home, life, relationships, and creativity. So again, we'll see that collectively, but also individually. So this can be a cycle when many changes take place within your home environment. Perhaps you change residence. Maybe people move in or out of your home at this time. You may do some remodeling. You may see changes within your physical home, your body. This can be a time when you undergo some major physical transformations, body, mind, and spirit. Creativity, you may see new inspirations come in this year that allow you to express yourself like never before and that ignite the fire within, bringing a renewed sense of balance, joy, and excitement into the world and the world around you. So what inspires you? Do more of that. Allow that flame to ignite and carry you places and inner depths that you never imagined yourself going to. Embrace your inner child and allow them to lead you uninhibited towards the unbridled joy. This is a year to absolutely say yes to what makes you happy without shame, without feeling the need to apologize for that happiness, even if others don't understand or even if they're shocked by your choices. Happiness and inspiration are contagious, so don't restrict how much of it you create for yourself, allow, within your life, and how much of that you share. This is an energy where we can see more people needing our help, our services, and our support at this time. You may see people coming out of the woodwork needing you at this time. Friends, family, loved ones, community members, clients, and so on. If we're capable of offering that support, then we will benefit from that circulation of energy. However, if we are not in the space physically, mentally, or spiritually to be able to meet those needs, then we must know when to set healthy boundaries and say no. This is very important because under the 6th energy, it can be very easy to sort of fall into martyrdom, which can lead to resentment, anger, frustration, and we sort of fall into a lower vibration then. This can be an energy where it's like you almost feel the urge to help people sort of to an extreme, if that makes sense. It's like where you're sacrificing yourself for another to be happy, which, that just doesn't work in the long run. That's not sustainable. And so just be mindful of that. Make sure that you're keeping your equilibrium and your balance, and that you are first checking in with self to make sure that your cup is full before you are able to sort of meet those requirements or those needs of others. There's no shame in that. And it's actually recommended so that so it's a more sustainable energy. If we get to the point where we are feeling taken advantage of, we need to understand that there came a point where we should have said no. When we choose to say yes to things that we are not capable of supplying or meeting the requirements or the needs of, then we are self-sabotaging ourselves and sort of sabotaging the other person as well, whether we mean to or not. And so again, it's really, really important to make sure that we are setting those healthy boundaries, saying yes when we're capable of saying yes, saying no when we are not capable of saying yes. So if you see yourself starting to fall into those lower vibrations when it comes to offering or sharing your time, your energy, and your resources with others, please realize your cup is no longer full and it's time to replenish you before you step back into that role. And if somebody doesn't understand your need for self-care, then chances are they were only interested in your endless availability and accommodations. And perhaps it's a connection that's no longer serving you, and it's time for that relationship to expire or to create some distance for the time being while you rejuvenate yourself. So overall, this 6th cycle of 2022 can be incredibly beautiful, loving, rewarding, and a very creative period. This is such lovely, softer, nurturing energy from the last couple of years. But as always, in order to get the most out of this cycle, we must continue to maintain our own peace and harmony, even when that means having those difficult conversations to set those necessary healthy boundaries. So, okay, let's take a look now at the overall upcoming energy for your particular life path number. Life path 22-4. So I pulled an animal spirit card for you all. And this is interesting. You got moth spirit, and the message is surrender now. But a lot of times when we think of surrender, we think of very challenging situations that we don't have control over, so we just need to surrender to them and see how things will land. I do feel that energy, but not so much the challenging, because when I'm looking at the energy for 2022 for you all, it is very beautiful energy. It's very uplifting, light, just really, really enlightened energy. And so the surrender now, I'm really getting this energy of like so much wants to come in for you this year, so much goodness, that in order for it to do so, and in order for you to be sort of aware of its arrival and being able to incorporate it, you really need to release any level of or any sense of control when it comes to the things that you cannot control, right? So I'm talking about relationships, other people, what happens with your career. There's some level of control we have there, right? Because it's the amount of effort and all of that, but you could easily get laid off or something like that. But my point is, it's like there are things that want to surface this year for you that are big life-changing events and very positive life-changing events. And in order to do that, you really have to be working in tandem with the universe and knowing when to release your grip, knowing when to surrender, and just allowing the universe to send you what it's trying to send you, and be open to receiving it, even if when it shows up, it looks completely different than what you had anticipated. There's a big energy here. And I know for 22s and 4s, there's this challenge of releasing control. Like we want to know what's happening, how it's happening, how we can sort of make sure that it happens perfectly and all those things, when really nothing in life is perfect. So there's a sense of your mantra this year is I surrender, and allow the universe to send you what it needs to send you, or is trying to send you, because you're going to be very pleased with what's coming in. But the more that you try to control the energy, the more you constrict it, the more that you are funneling and only allowing in that which you think you deserve, that which you feel is what you should be sent, right? As opposed to what the universe knows that you are ready for and capable of handling and worthy of. You see what I'm saying? So it's not that the gifts and all that are not going to show up, or the relationships or whatever, but you may not sort of utilize them to the fullest capacity if you have tunnel vision, if you're trying to control the situation too much. So again, your mantra this year is going to be, I surrender, and allow whatever comes in to come in, and don't judge it. Allow it to show up. And even if it seems too good to be true, it's not too good to be true. This energy for you all this year is so incredibly beautiful. You deserve this. You've worked for this. This is something that, again, it's like there's a lot of rewards coming in at this time. Of course, life is life, and there will be challenges along the way. There always is, but just beautiful energy coming in. So just surrender to it. Don't try to constrict it and choose, be the one who decides what's allowed to enter and what's not when it comes to this energy. Because if you do that and you're too overly demanding about what you will accept and what you won't accept, you can miss out on a lot of really beautiful things this year. And so I surrender. That is the mantra. Okay, and so I broke the year down into 4 quarters. The very first quarter, right out the gate, we have beautiful, beautiful unification energy. This is energy of just pure divine love. This can be a new relationship coming in for you. This can be taking a relationship to a much higher level. This can be meeting a soulmate, a twin flame, a divine partner of life type thing. And it's like this person enters and the clouds part and the sun shines, and now you have the powerful energy of the sun behind you. This is motivating energy. This person is entering to assist you in the journey forward in a very beautiful way. Now, if you're already in a relationship and that relationship is solid, then this is really like taking this to another level energetically, perhaps physically as well, but really energetically. So really, just taking it to the next level of consciousness together, which is just incredibly beautiful. And the power and the energy that you all create together will just sort of accelerate and magnify your progression forward. This is incredibly beautiful divine energy. For those of you that are single and not looking to get into a relationship, sometimes that's, again, if we have contracts with people, usually that's out of our control in a sense. We usually feel so compelled by the other person that we end up entertaining and getting into the relationship. But for those of you that are single and really do want to stay single, this could be you sort of really balancing those inner energies, the masculine, the feminine energies from within, really going through a lot of physical, emotional, and spiritual transformations, but really feeling the power behind that. This is going to level you up, whatever this is. If this is a catalyst, somebody else coming in, and entering your awareness. If this is you doing this, that's sort of leveling up internally, which obviously we have to do whether someone enters our life or not. But either way, this is an energy of union. This is an energy of divine union. So things coming together in a very profound way. This is one of those energies where it's like a pivotal moment in your life where you can see things begin to build from that moment. And you'll always sort of remember that moment as very pivotal within your life. And so this first quarter, you really have an opportunity to embrace this and take action on something that you've been wanting to take action on. And now you're going to feel that motivation, that power behind you to be able to do that. So this is really incredible energy. And what's interesting is then we move into the second quarter, and it's like you have this big new start. You're making a big decision about a big new start within your life. And I feel like it's like the unification had to sort of happen first to give you that motivation or that drive or that power to be able to step into this new adventure that you're evidently embarking on. But it's like taking a leap of faith and knowing that you have sort of the power and the fuel of the sun behind you to illuminate the path forward. So it's like taking a leap of faith, trusting and surrendering to whatever the universe wants to send your way and being open to it, being very open to it. That's the thing. If you need to be skeptical of it, fine, but don't be so skeptical that you talk yourself out of whatever this is. Because again, it's like the door is going to open for you to go down a new path that might be a little bit scary because I think it's going to be outside your comfort zone quite a bit. But where this is going to lead you is exactly where you need to be going, and also will open so many opportunities and doors for you. This is going to take very confident and decisive action. So you're going to have to really decide to take this leap of faith, right? Like, you're not going to be forced to do it. It's going to be one of those things where it's like the door opens and you're invited in. And you have to decide to do that. I think you're going to have a tremendous amount of clarity around whatever this is, so that you'll know exactly what to do. But that doesn't mean that your ego won't get involved and try to talk you out of it, because you're not going to have all of the answers. We never do, right? There is a level of surrender here. So you're going to know what to do from within. The problem would be that you might talk yourself out of it because of fear or doubt or whatever the case may be. So that's where you need to be mindful and be very aware of, if you're going to say no to this, why are you saying no to this? Is it because of fear, or is it because of actual real reasons why you would need to say no to it? You see what I'm saying? But if it feels right for you, then chances are it is definitely right for you. Then in the third quarter, this is going to be a time where, again, relationships are coming in really, really strongly. But I do feel like these relationships are going to be sort of like work related, or helping you to sort of find your center, find your footing. This feels like working together in partnership. So this can be around career, business. This can be romantic as well. Maybe you start working with your partner towards something. Maybe you open a business. Maybe there's a creative venture that you both can share your talents in. But this is going to be a more kind of coming together and balancing energies. So balancing the yin with the yang, the masculine, the feminine, the intellect with the intuition, the action with the stillness. There's a lot of balancing that needs to happen around this third quarter for you all. So if anything feels out of alignment, out of balance for you, body, mind, spirit, during this third quarter, it's going to be very imperative that you really take the time out to really find your center in whatever it is that you're struggling with, because you're going to need that sort of equilibrium to continue at the pace that you're sort of being asked to continue at, and to build whatever this is you're trying to build. So there is this level of some surrender coming in around that third quarter of the year, because again, you need to be able to work with others. You need to be able to show up in the way that you want to show up. And so you need to find your balance. And a lot of this is going to be about you finding your stillness, I think, and really sinking into that feminine, because I feel like a lot of this year is going to be quite busy for you. So really it's like asking for help when you need help and accepting that help graciously without the need to feel like you automatically have to reciprocate in some way. If you're asking for help, it's because you need it. And so accept it openly and with an open heart, and allow that other person to receive joy by doing for you, right? By being able to support you in that way if they're capable of doing that. We receive joy and fulfillment by helping others, just as we do in receiving that assistance, right? So don't take that from somebody, right? Like allow them to have that joy of supporting you if you're asking for that help. So this is really supportive energy. This is really beautiful energy. You do need to communicate it if you need it. This is also energy around setting those healthy boundaries, because remember, we're also in a 6 universal cycle. And so it may be that you're feeling like you're being pulled in a million different directions. And this quarter, you really need to set those healthy boundaries and know when you have what you need to be able to say yes, and know when you need to say no. Okay. Then we move into the 4th quarter, and it's interesting because now we really have you sort of contemplating and like going into self-reflection mode when it comes to the ways in which you would typically self-sabotage yourself. And really, I'm getting drawn back to moth spirit with the surrender. So I'm getting this sense of like control. So I feel like this last quarter, there's going to be things that might come up for you where you feel like anxiety because you don't have the level of control that you want over the situation, even though even though things are playing out the way that they're meant to be playing out. There's some level of anxiety because it feels like it's completely out of your hands. And really, you're being asked to sink into that, like sink not into the anxiety, but into the surrender, into releasing the need to control. Don't self-sabotage you or the situation because of your need to control. Whatever this is, it can be relationships, money, resources, purpose, self, whatever. But there's this energy of, again, sort of falling into old habits of really needing to control the situation. And by doing that, you are constricting the energy. You're starting to funnel, as opposed to being completely open to what the universe wants to send your way. And so again, if you start to feel that way, like you're starting to get anxiety or stress because you don't have the level of control that you feel you want over the situation, you need to pause. You need to go into reflective mode and see why you're doing this. What has triggered this for you, and how can you release it so that you can fully surrender to what it is that the universe wants to send you, because you're being set up in a good way to enter 2023 at this point. And so again, you can try to control it as much as you want and make the journey that much more stressful and constrict the energy and sort of limit what you allow in, or you can just surrender and allow it all to flow, and then take what you want to take from whatever surfaces. So I think that the majority of this year for you all is really going to be a reminder to release your grip. Release that need for control and allow the universe to send you what it wants to send you, because I'm telling you, there's so much beautiful energy just waiting at the gate for you. It wants to come in. And so, you just need to allow it to come in and work with it the best that you can. And I think this is going to be a really pivotal year for you all in a beautiful, beautiful way. Just make sure that you continue to set your boundaries. Try not to fall into the martyrdom role or the people-pleasing role. Just stay as true and authentic to yourself as you can while you surrender and release control. So I hope it's a beautiful year for you all. It's definitely geared up to be a beautiful year for you all. But again, it's what we do with the energy that makes the difference. If you would like to see how this energy could be affecting you personally, because again, this is a general reading, please book some time with me and schedule your personal year ahead forecast, your numerology year ahead forecast. I would love to run that for you and see what the year could be holding for you personally. That information to schedule that is in the link below, in the description box below, so you can book some time with me there. Otherwise, I hope it's a great year for you all, and I will see you all again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.